Welcome to a video from thedigital-lifestyle.com. This is a new sound pack for the Korg Multi-Poly. This is the PolySix Poly61 set. So this is a set of 60 performances for the Multi-Poly rack native. No samples or anything with the Multi-Poly. It's just load this set straight in and you'll get these performances. So these are inspired by the Korg PolySix and the Korg Poly61. So the Korg PolySix was released in 1981, so Korg's answer to those Poly synths at the time, like the Juno 6, and 6 oscillators, 6 voices, 1 oscillator and a sub-oscillator, 24 dB filter, and add a few effects, and arpeggiator, and 32 patch memories. So what I've done is I've used that restrictions to create these sounds, emulating the sounds of the PolySix. I've used Korg's old collection PolySix as a reference. I've also watched the videos of the PolySix as well. And I've also done the same thing with the Poly61. There's just a couple of Poly61, just the 3 I think I've done of those. The filters are very similar to the DW8000, which I've got over there as well. So that's kind of inspired me. So these sounds are inspired by that. They're not strictly reproductions of a PolySix, but they're a nice set of early 80s poly analog synth sounds. I've used some of the features of the Multi-Poly, like the motion sequencer, and multi-layers in various cases. A lot of them are single layers, just trying to keep that simplicity. And I have actually, if you take, say, let's just take an example sound. There we go. I've used 6-note restrictions on here. So you do get restricted, but you can change any of that yourself if you want to. But I like the idea of the restrictions of the original instrument, trying to sort of recreate or inspire by. So I've used that. So all these sounds, the modulation routines, everything else, are all kind of inspired by that PolySix. So I've not gone crazy with loads of modulation routines because you couldn't on the PolySix. Instead, the Poly61 came out a year or so later, and that had DCOs and the way of programming it very much like the DW8000 with the patches on there, with the parameters on the top and everything else. And MIDI as well. The later version of it was a Poly61M, I think, had MIDI on it as well. So the DCOs are a bit cleaner, but you also had a similar filter, so a similar sound. So I've done a couple modeled on that as well. Right, so with the rest of the video now, I'm going to demonstrate some of the sounds. Details how to get the sound packs at the end of the video. I'll do 2 versions. There's full premium with everything you see, with all the performances, so 60 performances and 57 programs as well, so you're getting quite a lot of in there. Getting the packs supports me producing these sounds packs. But if you want the free version, it's just like a subset, then links are in the description at the bottom. If you like these sounds as well, check out my other sets. I've done the DW8000. I've sort of modeled that from by ear. There's other classic synths on there as well. Right, let's get to it. So first, the Poly61 sounds. It's a very simple but nice bright lead. I've got a detune option on there as well. I haven't gone crazy with the detune. It just sort of brings it together. Kept it nice and sort of mono as well. But I found it really handy on a couple of tracks I've used this for, because it's kind of cuts through quite well as a lead sound. And my philosophy when I do these sound packs is I usually create a template with the envelopes and the filters set up. I'm using the Poly Multi-Poly filter on there as well, and I've set the envelopes up, and pretty much the default is pretty close to the PolySix, so the Poly61, so I've not had to change too much on there. This is what I call Big City, but this one is one of the multi-layer ones. See, I'm using 4 layers on there, and I got some mod controls on there as well, so you can bring those in. So the bass is always on its own. bring the drums in. If we flick over to the kick there, that's what I've used. I've used the motion sequencer to do that. And it's kind of a bit synthwavy, but yeah, I kind of like that synth poppy type drum percussion up there. So you can control these. So you've got an extra bass as well, like a sub bass, which comes in and out. Then you've got some strings, strings and some stabs. You can hear that stab coming in. So there's the whole set. So each one of those individual sounds are available in the, as a program as well. And a Poly61 Brass. I get no special effects or anything like that. Just keep it nice and simple. So now these are onto the PolySix section, and this one was inspired by one of the PolySix sounds on the plugin, the Legacy plugin. It was called 106 Bass. And so I recreated that. And I'm guessing that it's Juno 106 being recreated on the PolySix, which I've recreated on the multi-poly. We've got an arpeggio. This is when I have messed with a bit. And you can hear that I put some effects on this one. I put it to 8-bit mode, so really to give you that 8-bit sound. You hear the noise and everything else that's coming through on there. Analog chords. You hear that delayed LFO. This is one called Artime. I've used this in a couple of tracks recently. Sits quite well in the mix. A belly arp. I like the sort of evolving nature of that. And then this is actually the work in progress one, the one that I was working on, but I thought I'd leave this in the collection. It's actually where I started from when I was doing the art. It's kind of a lightish sound on there. We've got a big Reverb Square. And a big synth. Making use there of the 2 layers, shifting them octave apart. Don't forget 6-note polyphony. So this is called Bloom Pad. Because of the way that the filter opens up and then closes. This one's called Bright Lead. I've used this on a couple of tracks. I like that release on it. You can hear the resonance on there, but only on the release. Called this Cathedral Wow. It's kind of a wow sound, and I used a big Cathedral reverb. And I think I've been programming this. I've been working on some other collections and different types of synths, and actually, you really can get a feel of the different synths in this way. So when you hear my next collection, which you can find out soon, you see it's totally different to this because it's a different mindset. This has got a nice sort of warm, mellow sound to it, not too bright. I think overall, this is kind of the feeling of this set. Here's a sequence one. And created that sort of fifth part sound. So this one is a chord sequence. You hear that chord, major 7th chord, and I use the chord mode on here to get that effect. So it gives you that. You hear the drums there from the motion sequencer, but also using the motion sequencer to trigger that those stabs. Using the technique. If you check out one of my motion sequencer video, you see how I've done that. Right, so let's go on to some strings. So it's got a nice chorus with those strings. There is an ensemble feature on the PolySix, which I've got some of the sounds that make use of that one does, and that's a chorus one. A classic arpeggiator. You hear the extra notes come in like. Do like a nice arpeggiator. Classic keys, trying to recreate that sort of classic synth sound. That's a bit of resonance on there. The drive bass. Now this one has got the drive control on there, so you can push that drive up a bit. So you can control how, I like that drive. That's a real character too. Electric bass or E-bass. Not too bright, but nice, sort of trying to recreate the sound of electric bass if you had a PolySix. And I've got that version with some sequencing on it as well. I've kind of kept it light on the effects on this one as well, but I think you could bring some reverb. And using the motion sequencer to do that, you can see those triggers. This is PolySix Ensemble Brass, PolySix has an ensemble setting on there, which I mentioned earlier, and the multi-poly has that effect built in, so does the mod wave as well. I think Wave Station as well. So I'm making use of that. Here's one that uses the same thing as this is a PolySix string ensemble. To make good use of the whole pedal on this, because you've got this 6-note polyphony, it doesn't get too muddy because it's automatically doing the note stealing. So this is called Evan, and if you play this one with the D-A, D-A, and then play around with the delay, this is a recreation of the sound that Jan Hammer used on the Evan track from the Miami Vice episode Evan, and it's a really nice sound that he gets, and then he has some nice sort of big drums with it, as you expect from the sort of Miami Vice Jan Hammer 80s style, but it's the arpeggiator that drives it, and that is the arpeggiator. So it's a really nice sort of sound that comes in and out, and the delay is being controlled by the mode controller, so you can take it out completely. I noticed on the original that it kind of faded in and out the delay. So it works in its own right as well. You can just use it as a straight arpeggiator. It's a really nice sort of soft arpeggiator on there. Horror Bass, which I played at the beginning. This is a nice slow, but you can use it's a nice slow bass sort of sound. You can use the chaos with that. This is called In the Cave. And it's got that real sort of atmospheric sound. Maybe not that million miles from something Japan would have used, I think, from a Prophet 5. Keynote delay. LFO Brass. Again, keeping with that simplistic theme of the PolySix and our LFO Pad. This one's got a bit more control over it. You can control the panning. So you can bring it wider or bring it narrow. And the speed of the panning. Not something you could have done on a PolySix. a lo-fi pad. Here, slowly building. And a bass, lo-fi bass. With a sub, I think as well. Yeah, there you go, you can hear the sub. I mentioned the chord mode earlier on. There's that chord mode one without the sequence. Minor brass. Using the minor chords again. A sharp attack on that. And the movie set. Kind of thinking like 80s horror film maybe. The heartbeat type sound and the pulsing bass. And with another layer there sort of kicking in there as well. I think we've got 3 layers on that one. Simple pad. And some phase strings. A bit Genesis like Flux sound. With some delay and a pulse pad. I like the release on there. PWM Lead. And a ratchet bass. So this one uses the ratcheting technique. There you go, you can hear it. And I've done that one with using this technique that I've got on my YouTube channel, how to create ratcheting type bass. This is a low probability on this one, which produces that ratchet sound. You can hear it there. Sample and hold bass, with the classic analog synth type thing. Simple arpeggiator. A bit of variation on with that mode control. Simple brass. A simple selection or section. A square pad. And some classic strings. Strings, I think this is chord mode. There you go, yeah. So I've used the chord mode on that, so it's single finger mode. A sweeping pad. So this is a sweeping pad. Bringing that up. I mentioned Synthwave earlier on. This is a kind of a Synthwave lead sound, but with a split as well. And you can control these so you can hear the bass, and then you bring the sample and hold up, and you've got the second bass, so you can have just the sample hold or just the bass, and you can take the drums there. This is a Squarewave lead. Reminds me of the Tears for Fears Mad World type lead sound. I can't remember the notes. The template, I always include a template, as mentioned earlier on. It's just how I get started in that sort of mindset, so it's all ready to go for those sounds. Tremolo Piano. And really, when using analog synths back in the day, people trying to recreate piano type sounds, then you could kind of create a whirly type piano in there, and that was with it, a whirly piano with that sort of tremolo in it. A Unison Bass. It's a mono bass on that. And a Unison Bass 2. Unison Brass. Unison Drive. It's quite a high drive on that. So nice drive lead there. So this one is Unison Lead. A bit Floydy, which was done on Any Colour You Like was done on a mini mode, but this is PolySix doing it. Unison mode, which gives that a bright character, but I like the delay on there with it being mono. We've got a Vangelis Brass. Then we've got Vangelis Brass. And there's a sub oscillator on that. And Vangelis Unison. Which is a mono unison mode. And finally, we've got a Whirly Piano mentioned earlier on about electric pianos. This is one without the tremolo. It doesn't sound exactly like a Wurlitzer. It's meant to sound like a PolySix creating a Wurlitzer sound. So that's the collection. I hope you enjoy these sounds. I do like working on these, and the PolySix was quite inspiring to recreate. There's 2 sets available, full set with everything in there, all the performances and programs that is available. Link in the description, helps me keep these sound packs coming. And there's a free sort of sampler set as well, where I'll include a handful of these, which are some of my favorite ones. So thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you can. I do have a newsletter as well, where I usually send out discount codes as well. So if you subscribe, and then each month I'll send out some code as well, including that newsletter. So if you are thinking of getting one, well, then that's a nice way of saving a bit of money. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you on the next one.